Greetings, this is Doc Griffin, Swing Surgeon Director of Club Fitting Operations, and it's time again for the Doctor's House Call. Okay, so now I've got a clipboard like somebody else that we know. And the subject today actually is we're going to put a little spin on spin. In a recent school down in Florida, Serge and one of the students there got into a little bit of an exchange and a question about what produces spin. So let's do a little test. For those of you out there who think grooves produce spin, let me see your hands. Okay, I see them. By and large, that was the vast majority of people think that grooves produce spins. Well, those of you who didn't raise your hands, you're absolutely right. Contrary to the popular belief that grooves create spin, it does not. Grooves actually allow, if you will, or facilitate spin. The primary purpose of grooves is to channel away debris and moisture off of the club face so that you get more surface-to-surface contact between the golf ball and the club face, which will produce that friction, which will cause spin. Tests and research has been done where they have actually taken sandblasted irons and compared the spin rate to irons that have full brand new grooves and found that the spin rates are very, very comparable. Question comes up, why is there such an uproar with the USGA about grooves, how they're made, the shape of how they're made, the depth, so forth and so on? The answer is quite simple. Larger, deeper, squarer grooves allow for more moisture and debris to be removed, thereby allowing more surface-to-surface contact, thereby allowing more spin on the golf ball. So if you have those larger, deeper, square grooves, it definitely is an advantage for allowing the club to produce the spin when hitting out of rough or out of wet conditions. From a clean lie, ordinary clean line with fairway, a club with wedges as opposed to a club without wedges will produce relatively the same amount of spin. And I've gotten this question before, and people seem to have the concept that when they hit a golf ball on a club face, that the ball actually deforms and goes down inside of those grooves. Which, if you think about it, that's the only way that a groove could produce spin is by actually, quote unquote, grabbing the golf ball. Well, let me dispel that myth. Number one, the ball is too hard, even though they tell you the covers are soft. Yeah, they're soft, but the ball is too hard. It does not deform and go down inside that groove and allow the club to grab it. Number one, it doesn't stay on the club face long enough. Number two, the surface area of that groove is so small it couldn't get down in there anyway if it was soft enough. Well, then you get the argument, well, I've seen the ball material actually stuck on the grooves or down inside the grooves themselves. Yes, you have. And the explanation for that is this. If you've ever taken a trencher or seen anybody plowing a field and the thing that digs the furrow or the trencher that digs the trench, well, where does the dirt go that it's moving out? It goes up and over onto the side. Same thing's true when they're doing a wedge. They're scoring out the material, and as much as they take it and clean it down, it's just not a consistent process by where they clean those edges down to where they're flush. Because I think part of it becomes a factor, or a fear, if you will, that if they got down that much, they could actually start getting into the face of the wedge. So when a wedge is brand new, it's quite very possible and most of the time quite probable that those edges on either side of the groove are raised a little bit and sharp. So once you played that wedge for a while and worn it down some, those edges get soft and smooth, or don't get soft, excuse me, they get smooth, and they will no longer score and chew up the golf ball. So you ask the question, what does produce spin? Number one, the loft of the face produces spin. Number two, the speed with which it's hit. Number three, the angle of attack that a player comes down and hits into the golf ball. Number four, the actual material and construction of the golf ball, the way that it's made. Golf balls now have come such a long way in the science of building a golf ball. They can produce golf balls with particular covers and mantles and the way that they're put together that can produce or lessen spin. And to some lesser degree, in my opinion, now this is opinion, shafts. You can use a shaft to bring down, or conversely, if you use a different shaft with a softer tip and so forth, you can actually elevate spin. So the key here, I would say to you guys, if you want to have more spin, then make sure that your grooves are clean, because it will remove moisture and debris and allow for more surface-to-surface contact. Find golf balls that spin more. Talk to a club fitter about shafts that will help produce spin. And for you guys that want less spin, get golf balls that don't spin, get firmer tip shafts, and let your grooves get pretty much filled in with dirt. And that was kind of said, yes. But again, the answer is grooves do not produce spin. So there you have it. My spin on spin. And that's it for me today. Again, as always, we appreciate your support. We do ask, if you know some people who aren't watching or aren't familiar with the Surge's site, pass them on the address for the blog and get them involved as well. And we appreciate that. And if you have any questions or suggestions or something you'd like to see discussed on a video about club fitting or something in those realms, please email me or give me a call. Thanks again, and remember, better golf is just a fit away.